Would you eat crickets? Or tarantulas? Or ants? Or worms? When I was little, I used to eat earthworms as a way to freak people out. I'd have everybody pay me a nickel, and I would tie it into a little knot and swallow it. And I learned the first time I tried eating one that you do not chew them. I've never had them deep fried. They're really easy to catch a lot of, and I've been thinking about looking up recipes and trying some out for, different earthworm things because it's so really easy to find. I just watched this documentary called Can Eating Insects Save the World? And it talks about how there's 40 tons of insects on Earth for every human. Not even exaggerating. And nobody likes bugs. Not really. You wouldn't have to feel sad about eating cute little cows or bunnies, or they don't eat as much. They reproduce faster. They're more nutritious. They're more stealthy. I don't know. I'm kind of liking this idea. I watched a video once where they were showing how to eat a scorpion, and Kalen loved it, but he was like freaked out by it too. And I'm kind of thinking that that would be a really, really awesome thing to try. I used to catch crickets all the time when I was a kid, crickets and grasshoppers. In fact, there was a couple of birds I saved, and these birds would be like, I don't know, they were too old for me to be rescuing. But I had to catch some food, right? I'm this little kid. I find this little bird crawling around on the ground, and I'm like, oh, the poor thing needs help. Now I know better. Now I know that you leave the bird alone. Generally, you leave the animal alone. But I would get them, and I would force feed them. Poor little baby animals. Anyways, fully feathered and everything, but we'd go out and we'd catch all sorts of grasshoppers, and we'd chop them up into little bits, and then we'd take our tweezers and we'd like feed them to the birds. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Anyway, half the birds lived. We figured that was a pretty good success rate for kids. I think we saved like 4 birds in 1 year, and 2 of them survived. Anyways, it was really, really, really awesome and an interesting learning experience. But as kids, we caught them all the time, and it was so easy. And we'd just go out there and just catch them all the time. And we lived in town too. It's not like we lived out in the country or anything. And we'd catch like buckets full. A couple of years ago, there's these girls that live next door, and I had them go and catch a whole bunch of, well, I was talking about it, right? And so they went and they caught a whole bunch of grasshoppers, and I ended up not cooking them. And I'm so mad at myself now because I had this whole thing of grasshoppers, and we could have cooked them up and eaten them and tried them. And then I didn't do it. I think about that sometimes, and I think that would be so much better. Like, I have a problem with, like, I raised meat rabbits a few different times in my life, but the problem is that they're cute and they're really sweet, and I don't know. Like, I'm torn on it. Like, ow. Like, I feel like if you can't prepare your own meat, then you shouldn't have any business eating meat. But on the other hand, it's so sad, and they're so cute and so sweet. And the one good thing is if you raise your own meat, then at least you know that they had a good life, they were fed good, and that they had enough room, and, yada, 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 yada. They have a good quality of life. The animals that you buy in the supermarket, they didn't have a good life. They didn't have nothing. But bugs, you don't feel sorry for killing bugs. You know, especially when you've got 15 million of them and all you have to do is, you know, dunk them in water. You know? I don't know. I really like that idea. And crickets sound so pretty. And I hear they stink too, but you could put them in a greenhouse outside in the winter and then have like windows in the greenhouse that you open up in the summer. I think it would work really, really well. I don't know, I'm all excited. I'm all like, I kind of want to go out there right now and look for worms with a flashlight, but I don't have a flashlight at the moment, which is so stupid. You know how many times I've wanted a flashlight? But I'm not even kidding. Anyways, that is my thought for tonight. Bugs.